Hey guys, it's Skulker3 and welcome to part 3 of Let's Play at Blackwell Epiphany. In the last part, we started investigating the case of George Austin, who came to us shortly before he died, then after he died, then after he double died. Whatever that means. So we're here to look into that, and we've followed all the clues we've had so far lead to this apartment. This guy doesn't seem to want to tell us very much, and I'm willing to bet, being a doorman, he's not gonna let us through.
Miss, I'm sorry, but you can't go back there. Residents only.
At least he does his job.
Oh, sorry.
Well, he's not a resident, but we have someone else who can get through there, I'm willing to imagine. Can you tell us anything? Although, there's not really much point in trying to go upstairs. We have no idea what room he's in. We can look at this box.
Looks like it's full of old clothes.
That's neat. What does this say? On to clothing drive. Cold this winter. Hey, George. Okay. Well, we know he's in apartment 12A. Do we really need to get to his apartment? Let's see if Joey will do it regardless. Nope.
Yep, it's an elevator, all right.
Didn't want to even consider going up to 12. Okay, that's fine. In any case, though, we know that George now does a clothing drive. Or we now know
Yes,
that
miss.
George does a clothing drive, so let's ask about that.
I heard that George Austin was having a clothing drive here.
Oh, yes. George does it every year. He brings the box to Grace himself.
Wait. You said you knew nothing about Grace.
You said that George takes the clothes to Grace.
Yes, he does. He has an attachment.
And
to
that
the
was so
place,
surprising
though
that
we've
the
got a
world
fine
froze
church
for a
in
minute.
this area.
Church? So by Grace you meant Grace Church.
Yeah, the one downtown. What did you think I meant?
Nothing, never mind, thanks.
Sure.
Just gonna say, we were asking about George Austin earlier, and then we mentioned Grace. You don't think you could have connected those dots for us? Would have saved us, well, admittedly not that much time, but in any case, I think it added location automatically. So let's head over to the Grace Church and see what we can find.
Huh, a church. Of all the places.
Really? Ghosts don't like churches?
Being a ghost has nothing to do with it.
Okay, Joey's not a fan of religion. No, actually not surprised. I don't know, something about it, his character just seems to go with that. Hello, Father.
Hi, could I talk to you for a minute?
Please keep your voice down.
Hello, Father.
Sorry. Is this better?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I'm Rosangela Blackwell.
Father Gabriel Ullman.
It's pretty quiet here tonight.
God's house remains open despite the weather. If anybody needs us, we are here.
In any case, we want to ask you about... Well, we could ask you about the church, but we don't need to know that much. What we need to know
Do
is
you know
about...
a man named George Austin?
I'm afraid not.
He was a member of this church. Are you sure?
It is quite a large church, as you can see. I'm afraid I am not familiar with George Austin.
But he does a clothing drive and everything.
George Austin was holding a clothing drive that brought clothes to this church. Are you sure you haven't heard of him?
Yes, we deal with hundreds of clothing drives at this time of year. Some we arrange ourselves, while most are volunteers. It is not possible to keep track of every single one.
I don't know. I get the feeling that you'd know a guy who's doing clothing drives. At least you'd know the name.
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe. This is not a night to be outside.
I get the feeling you might be holding back on us.
It's a book full of handwritten prayers.
Neat. Let's look at the handwritten prayers.
This book is full of prayers written by the church's congregation. They're all anonymous and they're all written by hand.
Well, we might find one in here that proves that George does go to this church regularly. But since they're all anonymous, we can't exactly, like, George may well have written this one. So, yeah, I don't know if this is really gonna help us at all.
These prayers just go on and on. There must be dozens of them. I don't have time to read them all.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But we might be able to find something George wrote if we had a sample of his handwriting. So maybe we should go find a sample of his handwriting, which we've already seen in this very video. I don't know why this place is labeled George Austin, because he's quite demonstrably not here. He's not even in the ghost world anymore. Joey, see what you can do about this, would ya? Perfect. Well, not perfect because we can't get over there, but now it's perfect.
Whatever Joey did, the doorman doesn't seem to have noticed.
That's just as well, or else we might be in trouble.
Dropped my pen.
I only just came in here and I hadn't been over to that section yet, but I dropped my pen. Although I guess she could have dropped it on the last time she was here. So, you get a pass this time, Rosa. Oh, sorry, Joey. I was too busy almost reprimanding, but not quite, Rosa about her fake pen story. Anyway, let's do some cross-referencing here.
With this sample of George's handwriting, I might be able to find something written by him. Gotcha.
This place always brought me and Leah solace, despite everything it still does. Despite everything it still does? Anyway, is this really what I must do? It seems impossible. I'm finding my faith is shaken to its very core. Please help me find the strength to fight this battle. If not for me, then for Leah and the others. Wrong then, but close enough, George. Okay. We know he was someone with Leah.
Hi.
But we also know he attended this
Yes.
church. Just double
Could
check.
you tell me about that book over there?
For some, silent prayer isn't enough. They want to write it down and make it real. That is what that book is for.
Well, thank you.
Are you sure you don't know George
No,
Austin?
that didn't get us
I'm
anywhere.
positive. I'm sorry.
Maybe he knows
Do
Leah?
you know a woman named Leah? I think she was a member of this church.
Even if she was, I'm afraid the name eludes me. I'm sorry.
Well, you're not really any help then.
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe.
Joey, sort him out.
No reaction. Probably feels drafts all the time in a joint like this.
Yeah, it'll probably be fairly chilly. It's a big, spacious place. Well, the father doesn't seem to know anything, but we do know someone who knew George at least somewhat. Excuse me, can you
Hi.
happen to
Yes,
know
miss?
who Leah is?
Did George know anyone named Leah?
Leah? You mean the police officer?
Police officer?
Yeah. Haven't seen her around for a while, though. Did they break up or something?
I have no idea.
Too bad if so. I liked her. She was good for George.
Okay, so we now know that Leah is a cop, and I get the feeling we have one contact who knows at least a little bit about cops. So maybe we should call him.
Are you going to answer that?
No.
Well,
Right.
I mean, that's fair. You probably knew it was us being stupid.
Detective?
Uh-huh.
You got a few questions for you about Leah is a cop.
So, George Austin was involved with a police officer named Leah. That's it, isn't it? All the secrecy. It's because the police are involved.
You want to get us both in trouble?
Of course not. I want to help you. Look what I discovered already.
Look, I keep my distance from you for a reason. I know you got your sources. I don't know who they are, but you have a way. That goes without saying. Leah Piero is a fine detective. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Maybe you can help, maybe you can't. But I know you're gonna stick your nose in no matter what I say.
Sorry, but I have to.
Yeah, I get that. I can't stop you, but I can't help you either. You're on your own.
Believe me, Detective, if there's anything I'm not, it's on my own.
Well, just be careful.
That's a weird thing to say. Would you mind elucidating on that fact?
Well, see you around.
Uh-huh.
I didn't actually spot what. Leah Piero. We actually sold the name Piero twice so far. Leah Piero was, according to the newspaper, is the police officer who found Mary's body back in Carth House.
With you standing around, getting kind of weird.
I genuinely just want to stand here.
a cab.
No, you didn't.
The subway's just 2 blocks that way.
I genuinely want to just sort of stand here and watch these dialogues play out, but that would take a while. I don't know how many of them there are, actually. Maybe I'll do that someday. Or maybe you guys should, by buying the game.
Hug?
I was asking you to look at
says
it, but
Piero.
sure.
Huh. This must be Leah Piero's desk.
Unless another police officer who works here is called Piero, or her partner does, for example. But it would be a bit of a surprising coincidence, so let's
This
see what we
folder
got.
seems to be full of old expense reports. Too many to go through even if I could open it. The journal is labeled Midtown Jaywalking Citations 2001
Sounds like she had a
2004.
fascinating task on that one.
Interesting light reading.
Sounds like it would be a real humdinger.
Cute kid.
Hey there. Aha! This might be a good clue to follow. Let's just track Leah down to her house. I'm sure she won't mind.
I don't know where you're going, and I ain't gonna ask.
Leah Piero's
Just
house.
don't step on any toes, okay? We cops can get pretty touchy when it concerns one of our own.
Yeah, so do I.
What did you mean by that?
Exactly what it sounded like. Whoever George was, he was one of us.
Us?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a
Come
ghost
on. It's a
for
long
a
way
bit,
to Astoria.
but in any case, we better get heading over to Leah's.
So, this is what a cop's salary gets you, huh? A 2-story in Astoria.
It's not bad.
Try saying that 5 times quickly.
I grew up in. Anyway, shall we?
Yeah, we both know the drill by now.
I never really thought about it, but yeah, Rosa would probably have gone through a lot of foster homes, what with Lauren being taken into care.
Whoever made this snowman made it a long time ago. Several weeks at least.
He's looking worse for wear. We could get ourselves a Joey type hat, though. I think that's a Joey type hat.
Locked.
Well, I mean, frankly, what were we expecting?
There's a letter in here.
So
It
we're
was
just
wet
gonna
and stuck
steal
to the side
Leah's
of the
mail?
mailbox, but I got it.
I mean, that's still thievery, but sure, take a letter that's not addressed to you,
This
why
letter
not?
is soaking wet. It's practically falling apart in my hands.
The wired, Okay, that's not especially helpful. But I think we better get our master lockpick on this case. See if we can't find ourselves
Hello?
some clues.
Anything?
Seems quiet so far. Let me look around.
Yeah, there's not much of interest.
There's only one key on the key rack. The label on it says Emile.
Okay, Emil's a name to bear in mind. Can we blow
I'm
this
not
out?
just gonna blow on everything I see.
I guess, to be fair, that's probably a key to Emil's house, whoever that is. Anything in here? Kid's room. That'll probably be the... I can hear a piano. That would be spooky if we weren't a ghost. Yeah, so that'll probably be the room of that little girl we saw.
Hello?
Yeah? Is anybody there?
Who are you? Mister? Are you looking for my mom?
Yes. Is she around?
Uh-huh. I have to practice. Sorry.
Damn it.
Joey, you alright?
Yeah, sure, whatever. We got a spook.
Is it Leah Piero?
No, it's her daughter, a little girl.
I see. How old?
10, maybe 11?
And she's okay?
You mean besides being dead? Yeah. She's playing the piano.
Well,
Yeah, well.
So, this is a first for the team. All the ghosts we've had so far have been, at the very least, like, teenagers, like 17-ish. I think that's probably the youngest we've dealt with. So next time, guys, we're gonna get a little more into working with this little girl here. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.